On point. On point. Again, let's do it again. On point. On point. On point. On point. God damn it. On point. On point. Yeah, man. On point. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex. Ooh.
What it do, baby? You
Baby.
didn't see that coming.
This is the On Point Podcast Choir.
Yes.
We sing songs for the girl them.
Josephine.
That's very, very, very
know?
horrible.
But
Horrible.
Tonight, we're talking about sex.
Oh, we're talking about sex. ladies, listen.
Turn off the light, light a candle.
Ladies,
It's gonna get real sexual
ladies,
and real
ladies,
erotic.
ladies, listen. I teach sex classes. I do yoga. For the boys.
What?
For the
You
boys.
said younger.
For the boys with $1 million. I do that as well.
Oh, God.
Please continue.
Desmond is on his own with his sexual. I don't know. He always thinks in Desmond's area because of his yansh. Something has happened there. But yeah, Desmond is on his own with his sex talk and with his sex instructor thing. But tonight, I want to talk about sex. I know y'all like it. You want to be slapped with it? When you back it up, is it what?
Is it fat enough?
Yeah. Watch
More
me
cushion
throw
for
it,
the
throw it back. No, seriously. I think
Rudy reached the box.
let's not lie to ourselves. None of us is a virgin. None.
Oink.
None.
Oink.
In sex, me, I am a virgin because I've never had sex. I make love. But still, who educated you guys in terms of sex? How do you get to learn more about sex and how to do the do?
I was a sinner.
You still are?
I was once in the world.
Back in the
Now,
days.
I found my way back to the Lord. But as I was in the world, I learned certain things from Kinderplatz 9.
Oh, really? Already? Middle school?
Kinderplatz 9 was my middle school. I had biology, and they would explain and show certain things to understand the human anatomy. So that sparked my interest. So I knew I had to get materials to study upon because I was a good student. So if you learn something in school, you have to do
Homework.
homework.
And self-study.
I used to hear my future is bright. I must get there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
I like that.
Hey.
So, as I got to the stage that having literature wasn't enough, I upgraded to video material. From video material, started touching, doing practical. Because whatever you learn, you have to practicalize it.
It makes sense.
Because that is the only way you will retain certain things very well. So it started from writing. Then my line tube was audio, video, visuals.
Yeah.
Then practical, hands-on. Yeah. Unfortunately, I never had the pleasure to sit down with my parents to talk about certain things. But I don't blame them because their parents did not talk to them too. You know. But yes, that is how I got into it. Then from there, I am currently working on my master's. So you see where
Bachelor students.
so you see where the secondary school learning has taken me to.
It's taking you far.
Yes, now I'm working on mastery. You understand? It is not easy, but yes, I will make that too.
Will you go for that?
If chance is and if God permits, God so willing, thank you very much. I appreciate Landa.
Thank you.
Damn. I like that. I like that. Me. Well,
Since
it started back then in 2007.
back in the days. What year that's been back in the days?
It started back in the days.
2007.
2007. No.
That's how I corrected myself. 2007.
2007, yeah. That was when I started watching Mojo. Mojo led the way. You can't have a sex talk with your parents. That's impossible.
Would you appreciate it actually? No, right? Being that young and having that kind of sex talk.
No,
It's because our parents
that
are
would
weird.
be weird for me because the upbringing, the way I can't be. My dad can't just be like strict or the way they are with us, and then all of a sudden come in to sit down and start talking about sex.
Josephine.
That's weird.
Like, son, do you want me to get you that new lotion?
I was already practicing sex, and my dad just came to me, was just like, "Don't you have a girlfriend?" I said, "Oh yeah, I do have one." My dad was like, "I thought you were gay." Huh? Can you imagine? Because we never had the opportunity
But
to
gay
be like,
doesn't mean you haven't been practicing sex.
well, you know, as a black man, what gay means. You're not doing anything.
Like, you ain't no shit.
But me, since I'm 8, well, keep on.
You have
Keep
been,
going.
you have been
Don't
you have
worry.
been watching Mojo. So I've been watching Mojo, and Mojo led the way. Saw a lot of things, and I started putting it into practice not long ago. Because
Not long ago.
because I was a celibate, okay?
Celibate.
Virgin celibate. That's the way I would put it. But
ABC.
what bothers me is that our parents don't talk about sex, but they have like
6 kids.
10 kids.
Easy.
How is that happening? I
Easy.
never catch my parent kissing. So don't let me go off topic. So we're talking about sex. So as I said before, it was the Mojo for Europeans, porn. So yeah, my bros, tell me something.
I think we all share the similar story. But yeah, I was introduced to porn very early.
That's why you have so much
Be
dead skin on
be
your
exact.
hands.
Be
No, seriously,
exact.
that's why.
Be
You
exact.
can
I told
hear his
you.
hands christening. So so much dead skin on your hands. Wie Schmiegelpapier.
But at the beginning, I did not. How did it happen? I'm
You
not.
asking us?
No, I'm not going to expose anybody. That's I have to be very mindful with
Inside here?
what with what
No,
I say.
Probably the person.
Yeah.
Say his name.
No. Osas. I'm just kidding. But yeah, there was the time it was in my room. So we had a visitor, and he brought it. He put it in. It was older than me. He put it in.
Wait, please.
Where did he put
Wait,
where did he
oh
put it
God,
in?
wait. Please.
Choose your words
Yes,
wisely.
thank you very much. Yeah, I'm trying to be filtered.
Because there's
I'm
only
filtering
one
right now. Yeah.
there's only one
Yeah.
chance to first impression.
I beg, wait.
And you've messed it already
Sorry.
up.
So, so he brought video material.
Okay.
He brought video material. So he put in the DVD and said because he didn't have a DVD player, the only one they had it was in the sitting room. So it came.
So it was the DVD. He said put it in.
Yeah. So it came
I
to
misunderstood.
yes. Oh, thank God, you people told me. So he put it in. He watched it. He watched it in my room. At that moment, I was like, I was still. I did not feel anything about it. I was just looking okay, interesting.
How old were you?
How old was I? Like 8 years.
8 years, and you didn't feel
Something
anything.
was already rising.
No, wait, I was 10 to be honest. I was 10.
And you didn't feel anything.
The thing was it was interesting. I have to say, it was interesting in some way.
the storyline of the movie?
I love storylines in movies.
I love
Yeah, storylines are
storyline.
sweet.
Storylines.
I love
Don't let me
storyline.
start. Don't let me start.
So, and that guy was 14 that time, so 4 years different. So he was watching it, and he told me then, how they normally do it. They normally touch themselves while watching it. No, I mean the guy on his own body.
So you had an instructor at your house. This guy had the head start.
Literally. Pun intended. Porn intended.
So the thing was, due to that moment, I was kind of more experienced than others at school in my class. So, it comes to a certain age where it becomes a topic at school. And the thing was, due to that moment, I had more experience than others. Like, yes, I've watched it once, all that. So, when we had biology class, I record on that video during the class. So I even had a private talk with my teacher. Like, she came to me and said, "Prince, what's going on? Are you already practicing all this?"
Wait, at 10.
No, it was some years later. then.
Okay.
Only, I could always record the video
So all this based on one video.
on
you
one
watched.
video.
It's like you studied that material.
But that's the thing. If you watch something for the first time, it stays in your head.
Really?
It was me. I can still remember.
I cannot remember it.
I can still remember the scene.
Prince, Mr.
Yeah.
Provocateur.
So the teacher even called me out and like, "Prince, from where do you have all that experience, all that?"
Prince, there are many things you have not told us.
Really? Even told your teacher, don't worry about it, sweetheart.
So the thing was that day when we talked, I started crying self because she said that she's going to call my mom, like, that thing is not okay for someone at my age. So I was just kind of like, "No, please don't call anybody."
That's racism.
No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
So I don't know. I don't know if I'm the one that boosted that topic in our class or not. But it's like
You are giving free lessons.
everybody
And
was,
Elise, come here.
yeah.
It's like the
no, but everybody was interested, so everybody started educating themselves. Like, this, that, and they used to come to me like, "Hey, Prince,
Profi.
do you know?" they were just
expert.
the way they would look at me is like, "Hey, guy," like I was very experienced.
Yeah,
and
you
I
are the
practiced.
Messiah.
mentor.
Yeah.
You give them sex education.
So that's how you got into the whole thing.
Into the whole thing.
So
yeah.
fast forward some years, months later.
Months later, yeah.
So, are you a PhD holder now? Like
Not
my
a
bros?
PhD over there.
Striving for master.
Is
You know, you're still trying
Toshiba.
masters.
Yes. No, I said I would stop that class. I'm just waiting for my masters. But let's go back to this thing. After some later years, when these things become relevant again, I just got back into it, watching it, and that's it.
So you are going for your masters as well. Prince, you are sexy. Damn.
All right. So first of all, let me answer the question if it's good if our parents would teach us about sex. Honestly, I don't really feel that they're equipped enough to do that.
How many kids are you?
Because
How many kids are you?
we're 3. So now, because my question is, what exactly would they tell you?
That was my question too, brother. I agree. Like, what do you expect them to tell you?
Exactly. Because for me, it's like, what exactly would they tell you? Like, so that's why.
Okay, what would you tell your kids when they're before they have sex? Sex ed. This is what can go wrong. This is what you should be doing. Where should you be doing it? Like hygiene perspective.
okay,
There
like
you go. That's
No,
that's what-
don't dodge. Tell us about how you got into it, because now we're
I'll
about to
get-
skip.
No. I was.
He
He
does.
still needs- No. I have my story. Right?
Das
So
mag
give us
der
the
immer.
story.
Das mag der immer.
But it is.
You've been
so?
caught. You've been caught.
Immer.
So
Give
Yeah.
us-
okay.
We'll get into the parental
All right,
part.
all right. So the first time I heard about
You want to twist down.
the first time I heard about sex was in primary school. I was probably at the
primary, he said.
Yeah, primary school. I remember because it was after school. I'm gonna put the name out there, Viola.
Oh, Viola merda. No,
You also know Viola?
no, I don't know Viola.
I know one. She wasn't pleasant. Anyway.
So basically, it was after school because ich bin nicht zu Hort gegangen. So then I went to Hort. Why are you looking at me like that? But
Because
yeah,
it's interesting.
okay, good. So I went to Hort and we were just talking. And then I think she was like, "Oh, so you've never heard about sex?" And I'll be honest, I never heard about sex. I was probably like 9 years old, 9, 10 ish, that around that age. So she was like, "Yeah, I'll show you how sex works." So we went to the toilet.
Ah,
Went to the toilet. Alright, for the listeners out there, I'm getting up. So
Hold on.
wow.
So she was like, the guy will lay down,
Mm-hmm.
and you just do this movement as a woman, right? So in my mind, I was like, that doesn't make sense. Like, how does that,
Mm-hmm.
how does that function? And then obviously she started explaining like, okay, you take the man's, private part. It needs to be erect. In my mind, I already had questions.
Man,
like,
she already
how
knew
do you
that
get
shit.
erect?
How old was this person?
Yeah, she was my age. She was in my class.
Damn.
10.
Yeah, around that age, basically. So basically, she explained that, that
This is
whole-
what happens if you have sex talk with your kids. They go on and teach other children.
So she explained that whole, deal. And at the end, I'll give you a bonus. She then gave me my first kiss on my cheeks.
Damn.
That's the first time I ever heard about sex.
Wow, man, that's a massive story. That's a
I had
massive
3
story.
girlfriends when I was 8 years old. Just to drop it here.
So you understand why he offers lessons.
It's a shit. I think for me, it's just like, I think we kind of like all have the same story. I think it always started, I would say, back in the days, way before the days. In the last millennia, that's when it started with me. In the 90s, I'm a 90s baby. So I started off with very simple, something that you all know. Naughty America. Nobody does it better. Simple.
Classic.
Start off with porn. I'm a big advocate for porn. It makes sense.
You're an ambassador.
Ambassador.
You don't do without the storylines, innit?
Nah. But yeah, I think like porn is definitely something that definitely helps men. Maybe women as well, but I'm speaking from a man's perspective. It definitely helped me, and then obviously starting to get into middle school. The women are growing and developing. You start seeing big yams, big titties. So you start seeing touchy playing with women, starting to grope in them. They're groping you. You're enjoying your life. One of my first sexual experience was definitely webcam session. Shout out to MSN. Mad. But it was a weird thing. It was one of my classmates. So we're talking. It was a weird thing because I kind of liked her. She didn't like me as well. She didn't like me as much, But still, somehow I managed to coerce her into a webcam session. into a web.
You can be persecuted for that.
Abi?
It said
So-
coerced.
I kind of like managed to get a webcam session. That was back in the days with this MSN thing. So she showed me who she was,
And she-
how God made her. But what happened afterwards is because she kind of like she was so sensitive about this whole experience thing that we kind of like we didn't talk anymore. She was so shy afterwards because I've seen her naked now. I'm just like, Oma, don't be smarty now.
After
I've
you
been doing this
af-
since the
af-
90s. seeing naked
after you
women.
made me bed wet come.
Exactly. So like, what's up? Let's start something. But some way, lo and behold, we kind of like started to do something, but she was not really feeling me like that. So she broke up with me. So I started dating her sister. Yeah, on the same day. On the same day.
That's why we call them back shots.
On the same day. On the same day.
day.
She broke up. She broke up
Kill
with
your
me.
sister with enjoyment.
Exactly. She broke up with me. I started dating her sister.
Damn.
Power
Did you do
Power
you did that out of pettiness or you just wanted to?
No, her sister came on to me like, I want to date you.
I heard you got game.
My sister come on to me and says she wanted to date me. And that's what happened, you know. So you move on. You started practicing sex eventually.
Oh, seriously?
No, not at that time. Not at that time. No. But like in the high school, you know, I was desperate for it to happen. Yes, and I was sensitive and insecure about it that it didn't happen. So, but you know how it is. And eventually, before you graduate from school, you start practicing sex and you start liking it. And because you're a black man, you're already professional. Because I've been studying since the 90s for that day to come. And when it came, I know what I had to do. I know what I had to do. So till now, we are still rocking.
My story was soft core. This is
No,
hardcore.
that's not hardcore. It's not hardcore. But yeah, so we are still rocking it. We are still doing it. We're still enjoying it. But yeah, sex is a beautiful thing. It's a hell of a drug. It's a hell of a drug. So because we're in this era of sex, I think we kind of like differentiate between vanilla sex and vanilla practices and all kinds of hardcore sex things. I would consider myself a vanilla guy.
I consider
Exactly, is a
myself
vanilla guy.
Okay, let me give you something. Desmond, do you lick yansh?
Do you eat ass?
No, I don't.
Are you willing to?
I'm not.
Yeah,
Are you willing for yours to be eaten out?
With $1 million, of course.
What do you mean with $1 million? What do you mean with $1 million? You won't mind if somebody licked your yansh?
With $1 million.
Your anus.
Yes.
Has any of you guys, have you ever eaten yansh?
No.
I know it, I know a guy, but it's confidential.
Say it.
No, I haven't.
I haven't.
Emmanuel,
know why
it's like you want to say yeah.
I don't know why y'all laughing like bitches, because I know some of y'all doing some nasty shit.
Yeah, we do some nasty.
So we're real people, so let's keep it real.
No, honestly.
So let's keep it real.
Like for some people, they will be like, okay, no, like licking the pum pum, also known as bow cat, bowing cat. That's licking. It's
about
nasty.
that. I don't know about that, seriously.
Well, ladies, I've got PhD in that. Like I said, after class, yoga and everything in my apartment. You're all welcome. In licking the pum pum, man's got PhD. I have everything. Enter my DM. Desmond underscore T.
What is vanilla?
Vanilla. So there are all kinds of like regions in vanilla. Like, let's go to extreme because those little things that it's like common now. Licking yansh is common. Eating the grocery. Some people are shopping for the groceries. Some people are eating it. Prince, don't be acting like that. You eat feces during sex. So other people that like, licking, fellatio. It's normal now. Let's delve into it deeper. Would you let a woman penetrate you with a strap on?
No,
You guys are quiet. You guys are all quiet.
Silence for the fallen soldiers. Nah. No.
Okay. You guys are saying no.
Even for someone to initiate, like bring that topic up, I am breaking up. You bring that topic up, I am breaking up.
Okay, but why are you apprehensive? Why are you so apprehensive of not letting the woman penetrate you? Is it because you don't want to feel like demasculated?
Let her penetrate my heart and my soul. But she shouldn't penetrate my anus. It is sacred. Case closed.
like there's nothing coming.
Nah.
Okay.
I don't roll that like that.
I feel like it's a well-known fact that black men were not too adventurous.
Don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there.
But
Bro,
it's true. No, he's correct. Let him continue.
Of course, we're not too adventurous with certain
Sexual experiences,
exactly that we feel, are not masculine enough. So I guess that I would say that's my main reason why.
Yeah, but you said something now. You said masculine, Any interaction that happens between male and female is heterosexual.
bullshit.
What?
I'm shorting it
What?
down.
Any
Bullshit.
sexual interaction that happens between a male and a female is still heterosexual.
No.
If a woman lashes your ass with a strap on,
What?
it's still heterosexual.
Do you know you can be persecuted for that?
I know.
Well, it kind of makes sense.
What?
Oh God.
It kind of
No,
makes
I
sense.
like it. Speak.
It kind of makes sense
Speak your piece.
because
You
As a guy.
you enjoyed it as they did it to you, right?
no, I'm just trying to think here.
Because the way
And
I've been sitting today is like
I have an example. Because as a guy, if you are lashing your babe on the anal part, it's still hetero, right?
What are you saying, guy?
Now let me land. If you are doing your woman from the, the other part,
Say it as it is.
Yeah, 'cause I'm not
from
getting
the anal, see, so it's still hetero because it's happening between a man and a woman.
But you are penetrating.
You are penetrating, yeah.
But if she's penetrating
You are the active one.
if she's penetrating you,
Then you are the passive one in the hetero.
Oh,
So let me take it back now. A man to a man. A man penetrating the anus. That's homo.
brother, listen.
That's homo.
A woman does not have a penis. Therefore, if she has to strap on to do that to you, means that you are allowing and welcoming, you are entertaining.
But is that homophobic?
Okay,
That's the
no,
question. The question is that homophobic?
okay.
That's what the question is.
No,
This
it's
question
not
is
even about, it's not even a question because now we are trying to create a scenario where we are saying is it might be considered gay. But
it gay?
but
I consider it gay.
It's gay.
Because what's a dick looking for in your anus as a man?
yeah.
Let's be frank.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. I'm playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, we know.
What's your dick looking for? In the anus.
Hold on. That is a good question, right?
Yeah, it's a very good question.
But now the
because-
difference is, it is if I am even to do that, she would be a female. But if you're telling me that you are welcoming a dick in your anus, may it be plastic, silicone, wood,
Coming from a woman.
the day a guy comes from behind, your anus is welcoming him. Because dick is dick. Unter Anführungszeichen.
Anus is anus.
So is your anus anus? Is your anus her anus?
It's a plastic dick. A real dick.
No,
Exactly.
No, don't roll like that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Don't roll like that.
but that's
Don't
what
roll
it is.
roll it like that. You have
It's
to
a
you have to roll it like that.
Don't roll like that, guys.
But
don't do that.
but the vessel itself
To
is a
think of
woman.
it, to
She's
think
a
of it.
woman. I'm
She's
getting
a woman.
pleasured. I'm
It's
getting pleasured by my woman.
Not
When-
by my
because-
woman.
when
Not
a
by
woman-
my
It's
woman.
come from
when
a woman.
when a woman is, that's why, like, no offense, but when a lesbian is pleasing herself using a vibrator, it doesn't make sense because you could go with a man then, because it's still that same or a dildo, it's still that same body part of a male that you're actually catering to, that you want that male part to please you.
Nah, I don't think so.
It's the same
Nah,
thing.
it's not the
So
same.
then what will you, now if she tells you she's lesbian, would you say, okay, yeah, you're lesbian? No. For
Okay,
me,
what
you're-
about you, Mayo? Sorry.
Yeah.
What about you, Mayo?
Oh, to let the woman peg me in my ass. God damn. I'm not there yet.
I don't. We're not there yet, but
No,
but theoretically, as a thinking from what he said, that was what my argument was based upon. Like anus is anus.
What do you mean
guy
anus
stop
is
that
anus?
talk.
Anus is, if you go for a woman's anus, I still think it's the same thing as a man's.
So it means that if you would nyash a woman, you will also nyash a man. That is what you just said.
If $1 million is involved,
Let's forget the $1 million
because for
right
you,
now.
forget.
we said anus is anus.
If you forget
If
the $1 million,
anus-
if you forget the $1 million, I won't.
Okay, good. Why don't you say vag is vag? So if she's And ladies, please breathe in and breathe out for what I'm going
Yeah,
to
don't
say.
take this too offensive. We're
Yeah.
just arguing.
If she's big as fuck,
Mhm.
I'm not talking of how big her vag is. I'm saying like if she's big, dirty, smelling, or she is big, clean, and scenting nice, so that no one says I'm discriminating big people. Yeah. Why would you cater to a thick babe? And why don't you say vag is vag? It doesn't matter how her size is. I mean, her physique, how she looks like. Why don't you say that? But now you're saying anus is anus.
Anus is anus. You can't compare looks with.
So is vag
What's
vag?
under
Is
there?
vag vag?
Vag is not vago.
So then, if vag is
Vag
not
is
vag,
not
but
vag.
anus is anus,
Anus is anus.
brother, allow it.
Anus is
Yeah,
anus.
allow it, fam.
Anus
But
is anus,
still-
man. Anus is anus. Based on his talk.
The thing is that just like
Anus
it's
is
man
anus.
and woman. No matter what you guys do, it's actually not homosexual. If it's kind of like looks like an homosexual act, because there's certain people that want I don't know, a queer person, somebody that says transgender. So that's what they're doing. That's their practice. But a man, anything that happens between a man and woman, is not homosexual. It can't.
Because
It
if you
can't be.
define
Because
if you
it's
define-
not- it's just-
what is,
because
what is
do you
the
know why?
definition of homosexual of homosexuality between two men?
Or to a woman. It's
Or-
like
two
same
women.
gender, same sex.
But you have a woman.
Using a male part.
Yeah, but it's
the
just.
male.
But now you're. But now you're just.
Foul and vandalize, destroy.
Nah.
I mean, it's really disgusting to
What
me.
are you saying?
It's disgusting to me. But I'm just trying to prove a point here.
That you like it?
No, that statistically it's correct.
But
It's correct.
Technically, it is incorrect.
Technically,
Emotionally,
it's
it's
correct
correct.
as well. Bro,
Nah.
from
Okay.
from society view,
Nah.
from thinking, it's disgusting.
Nah.
What do you mean now?
It's,
Okay,
no.
Okay.
Personally, for me, it's disgusting. But I'm just supporting the motion.
That it's not gay.
It's not gay, yeah.
Okay.
A woman is putting on a man's part, a replacement for a man's part,
Yeah.
and she's giving you the man thing.
And it's ramming you.
That is that is gay.
That is a meme.
That is gay.
But it's a woman.
Gay-
So why
gay
she's
is
let's say like
cheating.
okay, why you are enjoying it from behind, back.
You see, the fact
You are
that you're
touching.
even enjoying
You are
it,
touching titi.
fact that you're- look, the fact that you're even enjoying it. No, look, the fact that you're even enjoying it is gay.
It's not gay.
It's gay.
It's not gay.
It is.
It's
gay.
not gay. You guys are still vanilla.
Okay, good. Let's move on. There are so many other things than busting the anus.
That's why I was like,
Exactly.
we just took that big step. There are other stuff. There are way more other stuff. That
But the thing is like we're all on the vanilla aspect. We
Okay,
have to go. We have to go to the extreme.
what does vanilla include? What's in
Vanilla is simple, missionary, classic sex. You know what classic sex is? And the things that, let's say for our generation, the classical thing would be like eating yash, eating the groceries. That's still vanilla aspect. Or, or fellatio.
So
That's
I've
also
been
still.
educated from vanilla because
So because there are things like I made a proposition in terms of this whole pegging thing. And you guys were opposed.
Like I give vanilla with some stardust, angel dust.
You see, but wait, that's what.
But no
But
more, no
do you
less.
like dominators? Do you like to be beaten and chained?
If someone likes to be beaten and chained, I see that. Like I'm not saying that's my flow, but I can understand. Okay, that is what the person likes.
But that's also not. But that's not
But
vanilla anymore.
Cool. That's fine. But you cannot compare taking that rubber, the silicone, rubbing, what's it called? Gladgill, some oil, lubricant, and piping a homeboy from behind.
Because
don't
now
feel
now
that, but
now
if
we can
someone
argue.
tells
Now
me-
we can argue.
If someone tells me, yo, but I am into sadomaso, as in having a dominatrix or whatever, cool, because you're vibing with a female. You want to be chained,
Okay, she's chaining you.
If
Your
that's what
yas
you
is
want,
spread.
and she's
Yeah, because the male G spot is in the anus.
what? there is that spot there. Yeah.
Yeah. So and that's what's only for you to have this orgasmic and spiritual
Shut up.
enjoyment, she
Don't
has to
put
enter.
spirituality- Anyway,
Bros,
sorry,
bros, how
I
do
might
you know
not
the,
enough.
the G spot is in the anus?
No, it's
Scientifically,
scientifically proven.
There
I
is
have
where
a friend.
in your yeah, I've read on that too.
Yeah,
Try
I
it.
have-
No,
I have-
seriously.
I have a friend that
Try
she was
Try this
telling me
pagan
that
thing. You guys
was-
should try it.
Because you could also make.
Did you try it?
But because you
Try
could,
it.
you could also make. You can make a female come via the back door if you know how to trigger. Told you guys I was educated myself.
Masters.
Yeah. Hashtag. Say shout out to my professors. I'll make you proud one day.
Lisa
So-
Ann on that.
So if you trigger certain front door and back door, there are certain points you will
A real
Get
back
to-
should do that.
and you'll confuse her. Anything you tell her, she will do.
Gems.
A tingling
You get me? But
sensation.
now it's not if you are telling me that. I don't know. Sorry, talk please because I am rattled.
Yeah,
One
Shukev.
thing I do know, like as you said, like a friend of mine, she told me that her boyfriend likes it anytime she makes out. Wait, hang on a second. She makes out with him. He wants her to stick her finger up his anus.
Oh,
Yeah.
So are you going to tell that man he's a gay?
Yes.
how did we get there?
Hmm?
How did we get there?
Look.
how did he and his girl get to? Anyway,
Look, maybe.
scoring, or maybe he's being
look.
yashed by
Maybe
He likes
it's like that's what I said.
I
Like
agree that he likes it. I mean, I'm not going to contest what someone says he likes, But now, like this, you use two fingers. Ladies and gentlemen, if you know how solid my fingers are, and they use these two to do something, no, sorry.
like you rightly
I
said.
might be old-fashioned, but
Exactly.
Yeah, me too. That's it.
No, but like you rightly said, accidents happen. Maybe she was.
What? You're done.
Look. Think about it. Like a woman is giving a man fellatio. Maybe she wants it from the back. Certain men like to have fellatio from the back, and now
Go again.
she's
fellatio from the back.
fellatio from the back. He's like he's bending forward, and she's doing it from the back. And no. She's just sucking on it from the back. He likes it, you enjoy it. It's a different sensation. It's like you are giving a woman fellatio from the back while she's on her knees. So lo and behold, something happens. Lo and behold, she kind of like strokes the gooch. That's the center between the anus and the phallus. Something happens, and he's feeling
Some tingling.
some tingling. But because he still wants to experience that tingling, he doesn't say anything. Now she's moving upward, and then it's inside. As a man, if you're experiencing that type of emotions for the first time, you might be like, I feel violated. But at the same time, you also enjoy it. So you're kind of like ringing with yourself and wrestling with yourself like, is it an homosexual act or not? But if it's between man and woman, how can I be homosexual? You can also be like, okay, me giving a woman fellatio is a lesbian act. Huh?
No, bro. No.
It's just a thinking.
No.
It's just a thinking.
No.
It's just a thinking.
That doesn't work.
You can because the society says they see it that way. Like it's okay for men to do it.
But back then, maybe like a few years ago, fellatio was like
Me.
forbidden.
Lick plate. Me lick plate back then.
Yeah,
but
no,
everything.
you're right.
everything-
I do know that back then it was like it was something new.
A
especially-
Jamaican would be like, me no bumbo clat.
Yeah, and yes, nah.
But now, I am a bumbo
It's
clat.
normal now. You see.
It's normal. If you don't do it, like, you don't do it. Some women will not
But
talk to you.
That's not something like exclusive for lesbians. Anyone that has a tongue.
That's why I'm saying, like, we're progressing. So
He said,
this
"Well,
whole
that's it."
this whole pagan thing might be vanilla eventually.
Then where are we going to if it becomes vanilla? What's next?
I'm not gonna be on this earth anymore.
Therefore, you don't care.
I don't care.
Nah, that whole pegging thing. That's.
Don't
See,
worry.
That's something I would teach my kids.
Don't worry.
Don't go there.
Oh,
Don't worry. Eventually, when you're in a relationship, it's a long relationship. what are you going to do? You have to experience. That's why with certain things, it's just like, I haven't lived long enough to experience that shit. Because now I'm still holding on to a certain notion that I don't want to go there.
I think it's
Abi?
like society. I feel like it's society that kind of,
Exactly.
how would I say, they not manipulate, but they influence
Mm-hmm.
certain people's mind. But certain people have, strong, I wouldn't say doctrine, but mindset rooted in us, I will never go there. Never go there. I don't even want to experience that.
There are things I will do. I will, on the ceiling fan. We'll be creative,
Yeah, but
but we will not get that creative that the back door becomes an option. That's for me.
Never.
What if now let me play devil's advocate again? That's a male insecurity. It's a male ego.
Good,
Because
then
you
we
feel
accept
you
it.
because you feel
I
because you
accept
feel
it.
violated that the woman is ramming you from
Okay,
behind.
I accept it.
Okay.
Case closed.
But okay, now what if she finds pleasure in doing
you
so?
see, that's where
How will she start finding pleasure in ramming me
exactly.
when you've never?
A stud, a lesbian stud. They don't like being touched because they're kind of like masculine, but in a female body. So
if
they
a
find
If
pleasure
a lesbian stud don't like being touched, why will it be me that is hetero?
Because-
who like getting it from the back.
yeah, because you want to switch it up.
Brother,
because
have
because
you-
as a
have
man,
you
as a
seen my
man,
size?
I know, but as a
I
man,
look like a
and
football player, and then you imagine
that's the thing.
a chick ramming me from the back.
oh my guy,
What are you saying, bro?
and that's the thing because you're always in the male dominative situation.
And I thank God for that.
And that's why certain men like dominatrix because they are men that are always in a certain situation where they're always leading, and they want to be led and kind of like overpowered. It's to
Lead
each
me
his
with
own.
money.
To each his own. Because I'm always strong. I'm always that type of I bring that sort of energy that I'm a leader. But every now and then, I just want to let go.
Okay. Now, for a second, let's leave this direction. What do you guys consider good sex?
When emotions involved.
I need everything, beginning to end.
Guy talk.
Yes, I'm talking now. Just wait. At beginning, that sweet talk, then foreplay, foreplay, then the small, the penetrating part, the sex.
Penetrating.
Me, I'm just a simple person. I don't do anything otherwise.
So how do you impress? How do you make her lose breath?
Okay. No. Me, I don't want to speak to her of me, but I think I'm a great man. I know how to service a woman.
So
is
you're
she-
a PhD. Yeah, a professional sex doer.
No, I know how to do my thing. And the things, I think maybe the good thing about me is I like to bring a woman to her end. So I think I care more.
Convince them on the.
Well,
Prince is a doer, not a
me
talker.
on my own time. What I think a good sex is when emotion is involved as well. When emotions
Do it without emotions. Can you still?
okay, without emotions.
Give me 2 hours.
I mean when emotion is involved, the sex is always good. It's always good. I think we can all agree to that. Because if the tension has been rising, the thing have been building, you have been talking, and then it is the day to do the do. Man, it's always good. But my small question is, when you say good sex, are you saying what brings it to be good sex in general, or what you are doing, or how you are doing it?
Let's start with what you're doing it, how you're doing it, and what is good sex. Talk,
Okay.
flow.
How-
This,
how
this
you
is
are
a
doing
candid
it?
conversation.
This is a guy talk.
Yeah, guy talk. Like, don't care if ladies are listening or maybe mommy and daddy are listening. Just try to relate.
Mama and daddy have been there already.
Okay.
They
Just
know
try
the
to
drill.
relate. Like, Wagwan.
Yeah, let me take my time. You start first.
I should start?
Yes.
Okay. Because
Lead
I
the
know
way.
if I start, it will make you want to tell.
Even your nipple is going to be hard.
So, your first question is, what do I
What do you
call
do, or what do you
good
call
sex,
good
right?
Yeah.
Good sex to me is absolute openness. Meaning, the moment you and I get into it, there is no, oh, this fear. No. If you let me get you give yourself to me.
Like she's comfortable with you.
Yes. Because you and I know that sex is nasty. We have limits. So, me respecting your limits and you respecting my limits, not welcome anything in my back door.
Are you listening?
Now we kick it off. Now, what I call good love making is intimacy. That's what people
Write that shit down.
That's where people don't get these technicalities. It might be Indomie duration, quick. It might be long and hardcore style.
Cooking beans.
Yes, cooking beans. True, you know the game. But I'll give you absolute openness and intimacy. Talk to me, I will talk to you. So if it means being hard on, do it. If it means being tender, do it. But what is the key to good love making? Listening.
Yes, sir.
Question and listening. Romance, if we call it romance as some romance, some people will say,
Igbo, no man.
warm up, don't just get to the act. Know what that person will like. Ask. Some guys are scared of asking. Ask straight away, what do you like? What turns you on? You doing that, you are laying the cards open. So if she asks you, you want to answer because you want to tell her what turns you on, right? Really, like listen to the way a woman breathes. That will tell you, it will reveal so much.
It tells you everything.
You are placing her,
Needs over yours.
yes. Now you're giving yourself away. You are making sure that she's getting where she needs to get to.
I give myself away.
Yes. Now, if it's her turn to do something, it's supposed to be less about her and more about you. This is what I call proper lovemaking.
Legendary.
This is sound like a movie.
I don't know.
Continue.
Hey, audience, are you guys listening?
Or are you already on Pornhub because of what my brother said?
Before we get
Mr.
into
Emmanuel, give it to say. It's your turn. It's your turn. We still have time. You won't choose time again.
No, I told you 2-hour lecture, but
Talk, bro. Don't F1 said nothing.
F1 said almost everything. All I can add,
Tomorrow now it's me they will post to my parents. See what F1 said.
no,
See what
all
F1
I
said.
can add is to set a good rapport. You know, to get that intimacy that he was talking about, you have to develop a good rapport, which means a good harmonious vibe between each other, and that involves making her feel comfortable. If she feels comfortable enough to even let you know, because you can be asking, what do you want, what do you like, either before or after. She will not tell you if you don't have a good rapport. So that good rapport starts with you opening up, telling her about, first, as we already spoke about, not taking yourself serious. Tell her silly stuff about you. You get what I mean? So that she sees, okay, he's a human. Public disclaimer: what he said is not for everyone. These are for pleasers. First of all, you need to know who you are. If you are pleasers, because
Come to this section.
exactly, because that's for pleasers. These are not the ones that
That just come
rush.
and take
Nah.
and rush.
So that's why that's I think that's the main thing I can add. Good rapport, open communication, set the vibe right, I guess,
Yeah.
with music, with good
Booze.
booze, definitely. know what she's into,
And smells, fragrance.
fragrance,
It's a killer.
scented. What's it called?
Oils,
You know, all of
candles,
them, lubricants.
perfume,
No stockfish,
What's it
no
called?
rotten egg.
even the bed sheet.
Exactly.
The bed sheet prep work.
Yeah.
But yeah, me personally, I'm a pleaser. When it comes to sex,
I'm spectacular.
I'm submissive
like the
to I'm a-
thriller in Manila.
in Manila. That's what they call me. I'm submissive to a woman. I am submissive to a woman.
I like that. Speak on that.
The sex thing, when it comes to sex, it's not about me. It's about her. Like Snoop Dogg said, I'm gonna take my time. She gonna get hers before I'm gonna take it slow. I'm not gonna rush the stroke so she can get her. Exactly. It's not about me as a man. Like you said, pleasers. I want her to invite me back. It's like a show.
Because she will fulfill her end.
Exactly. Because she holds the key to this almighty blissfulness. I'm your servant. I'll keep it clean, do what you want me to do, and by the end of the time I will still get mine.
Because a happy wife is
It's
a happy life.
Exactly. So like you guys already said, if we're and Emmanuel build a harmonious connection, you know? And for me, I always differentiate between good sex and great sex. Great sex doesn't happen all the time. Maybe a few times in a year, if you're lucky. A great sex is just a normal, for me personally, good sex is just about like having this emotional connection. Really, really having an emotional connection. Because it always makes for a good sexual experience. But a great sex is when she and you climax orgasms. Orgasm.
Even if it's a minute.
Even some minutes. Do you know what an orgasm is? For me, an orgasm means that I'm having an outer body experience. I can see myself from this fucking outer space lying there being fucking vulnerable.
Yes.
Do you know what that does to your body? I still remember the first time I saw having an orgasmic experience.
Transcended.
Fam, I was in the skies, in the stars, and I saw myself lying on a bed feeling like
Like a bitch.
yeah. I was just lying there. I could see myself. I was like, God, take me. I'm
dead.
ready to die.
I'm ready.
It's an experience. It's amazing. And you don't have that orgasmic experience all the time. Maybe, I don't know, a few times. But still, if you have a good sexual connection, it's enough. Orgasmic experience only happen every now and then. So for me as a guy, like I said, I'm a servant. And I'm here
Use
only...
me as you please.
Exactly. I'm only here to do God's work. I should share my gifts to the world.
Your talent.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we talked about
Just
sex.
Domina.
We will still talk more often about sex because you ladies love to listen to that thing.
Yeah.
For the man dems, listen.
What do the ladies do
Exactly.
to confuse a guy?
You
Do you
know
know the
yourself.
spots to touch?
Mm-hmm.
Do girls actually study sex the way some guys take time to read and study? Because we use it also to prove ourselves at times.
Definitely.
So I would like to know,
Mm-hmm.
what do the ladies do?
Mm-hmm.
How do you get yourselves ready? How do you get him ready? How do you train him if he doesn't know what and how it's supposed to be done? Because people just expect you come into a relationship or you get into the sex thing and you're an expert. I don't think that's
No,
normal.
practice makes perfect.
You get me? Because someone trained the vampire that was draining your blood. Someone trained her.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if you enjoy and you're there, get the lady you're seeing or you're with, get her to that level so that you guys give it to each other the way it's supposed to be. Now, watch out. I'm God's son. All I said is if you are married. So I'm not advising those that are not married to do all these things. But yeah.
Thank you. Guys, let us know in the comment section how you practice your sex. Don't hold back. let's have a conversation. Let's learn from each other. Let's educate. Sex is part of a healthy relationship.
Very much.
Sex is part of romance. If you want a long-lasting relationship, make sure that sex is there.
Don't
If you
deny
don't
your
do
man.
sex, don't deny. Don't deny your man. Don't deny your woman.
Don't starve each other.
Sexual starvation
Yeah, it's mad.
is madness.
It's real.
There are books about sexual starved marriages. So this is not just a light-hearted situation or a topic. Let's really talk about it. Let's have a better relationship than our parents have. Let's have a better romance.
That's a word. Yeah, I like
Let's
that.
have a long-lasting relationship so that we can all come together and be happy. On point.
On point.
On point. On point.